Hey, welcome to another Tuesday with the Disney Planning Insights podcast. It's Matt, and we've got a big show. Peter from Princesses and the Mouse, Disney Travel, is going to be joining us tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Very Merry Christmas show, some of the things that are going on with Disney Cruise Lines, and Epcot celebrates its 40th birthday. Hang out with us tonight for the next about 45 minutes. This is Disney Planning Insights. Hi, I'm Matt. Welcome to Disney Planning Insights. Through creative content and live shows, we explain the hidden details of the Disney experience so that our clients can execute memorable adventures. Together with Princesses and the Mouse, Disney Travel, we have helped hundreds of clients plan, book, and prepare for magical Disney vacations. Let our experience help you avoid common planning mistakes and maximize the enjoyment on your next Disney trip. Hey, what's going on? It's Matt with the DPI podcast. It is October the 4th, another Tuesday night, and we're going to have some fun tonight. Got a lot to talk about. First off, welcome to the show. If you're new, welcome. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel when you do that. And check out some of the other stuff that we have. We are a family-friendly Disney podcast and content creation channel. We've got a lot of different things on the channel, so definitely you want to look around and have some fun with what we've got going on. On top of that, we do have presences over on Facebook at DPI Podcast, on Twitter, Disney Insights, and on Instagram at Princesses and the Mouse. Big show tonight. Waiting for Peter to get the Zoom booted up over here, and then we'll get him on and we'll talk some of this week's news. As far as last week, we did have a hurricane come through Florida. Luckily, I don't live in Florida. I do have family down there. And yeah, it did some major damage on that west coast, especially like the Fort Myers area, Cape Coral. A lot of damage over there, and a lot of flooding even inland up into like the Orlando area. So it was definitely a crazy storm that went through Florida, and then in turn made its way into the Carolinas and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's great that Disney kind of gets around the ability to weather these types of storms. They are rated as a shelter for Cat 5 storms. So a lot of cool things when it comes to Disney and weathering a storm. And there was a lot of neat things that went on during the storm, from hurricane meals to some fun character interactions in those resorts. On the personal side, we got to go out to Kings Island over the weekend, check out the park out there. We hadn't been in a couple years, and do their haunt, which was pretty fantastic. So if you are in the Midwest looking for a good weekend trip, Kings Island, pretty awesome. Definitely want to do the rides in the morning, and then as the crowd filters in for the haunts, everything kind of really jumped up in time later in the day. So definitely get some of those big rides out of the way, like Orion, the biggest coaster, the newest coaster that they have, for most of the morning. So it opened at 11, and through about 3 o'clock, it wasn't getting much over like a 25-minute wait. So that's a fantastic time to get out there and check it out. So looks like Peter is up over on the other screen. So let's go ahead and bring him on and start talking some news. Hey Peter, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you?
I am hanging in there, man. Girls
Yeah.
golf, how's it going?
Done.
Done. No
Yeah.
state?
Yeah, we did that last weekend.
Oh, I thought it was this next weekend.
No. Nope, nope, nope. All done.
Then why weren't you able to do the big hole?
What do you mean?
You told me that state was the weekend of the big hole, the 15th.
No, I told you last time we played golf that, oh, it's actually the weekend, a couple weekends before that, I can play the big T, but then you said, oh, I already got four guys.
Okay.
If you don't have four guys, I'm in.
Well, right now we do, as far as I know. If
Yeah,
Paul
exactly.
reaches out, you are first on our list.
I brought that up when you and I played 18 holes out at Arrowhead a few weeks ago. I said, oh, actually, because I said, hey, is the big T the 15th? You said, yeah. And I said, oh, state's done the weekend of the first, so I could do that. And then you said, oh, well, we got that young buck guy and his brother or something.
The Beaver
I said,
Brothers.
oh, okay. And then it was literally on hole 7's tee box. This
Oh,
conversation happened.
well, I do not remember that, so. Is what it is. All right, you ready to get into some news for tonight?
We just did. We cannot get our crap together regarding a golf outing.
Yes. All right. Here we go. So now we have a 15-minute timer, though.
Ghost.
Okay, so I'm going to lead with Very Merry Christmas Party. And it is going the way of Not So Scary right now. So the first 3 parties have now sold out, and the first party in December has sold out. So we're down to 4 dates that have sold out, and we are a little over a month away from the first party date. What do you think is causing the big uptick in party purchases? Because in years past, it's taken a lot longer for these to sell out, and not all the dates have sold out.
Well, I think it's just the fact that the party's back in true earnest fashion, right? It's been since 2020 since we've had a true party. We had sort of a fake party, if you will, the last couple of years. And so with the not so scaries happening and all these people going and coming out of it going, oh my gosh, exactly what I said on the show last week. It's back, it's back, it's back. I think that's very much the reason why all of the Very Merry parties are being snatched up now, because it's been a while and it's sort of been confirmed by the not so scary party goers that it's back. It's close to what it was before. And so everybody's going in and getting their, multiple years of missing it out of their system.
So a couple things announced, or I guess not announced, with the party this year are, again, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam will not be a part of the holiday festivities for Magic King, or for Walt Disney World, and the Cinderella Castle Dream Lights also will not be returning this year. The Dream Lights, do you think that's just a product of all of the extra decor on the castle for the 50th right now?
That would make sense, right? I mean, there's a ton, right? It's like basically an entire overlay on top of the castle for the 50th. So those not coming back makes kind of a lot of sense. One of the sad things that I saw is that Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam over at Hollywood Studios was not mentioned on the Christmas plans this year. And that was just a fun little show. If those of you out there haven't seen it, it follows Prep and Landing as they kind of like go through some hijinks and some different Disney character interactions, but it's displayed on the Chinese theater. And it was just kind of like a fun, whimsical show. So I am surprised that that's not going to be back in Hollywood Studios. And we can speculate the reason why the Dream Lights aren't going to be back on Magic Kingdom is due to, but I don't know why Jingle Bam Jingle, or Jingle Bell Jingle Bam is not going to be back. It just seems weird to me.
Do you think it's because they're planning on having Fantasmic back for the holiday season?
Could be. But I know that, like, when Disney announced it, they said it's because we're planning, like, they're just keeping them beacons of magic. So they're going to keep doing their little their little things, but I still don't. Yeah, I still don't see how the Chinese theater is impacted. It makes sense that the castle's impacted by continuing its beacons of magic, little here and there animations, but Hollywood Studios doesn't make sense. So maybe that is why. But I don't know. It was always nice to like have Phantasmic or the little thing on Chinese theater.
So there was a addition to the hall or the Magic Kingdom Marathon weekend announced this week, and it was a very much a stretch as far as they're adding an event on Castaway Cay as part of the January 9th cruise that's going to be tied into the marathon weekend. And it's a 5K. And, in cruises past, you used to be able to do a 5K. It's actually something that I trained for when we were supposed to take our first cruise back in 2020. To do that 5K, and that was going to be my first 5K in a long time. And it looks like this is kind of the return of that 5K, the Castaway Cay 5K. You're a runner. You've done some running in your history. Have you done any of the Run Disney events yet?
I have not. Jesse and I are starting to turn our sights there. Having the DVC, it would be relatively easy for us to, book a room for a couple nights around that and just basically go do the running events and sort of do a relaxing vacation outside of the running. That time of year where we are is really flipping cold. And so, the ability to go down there, go run in the morning, grab a lunch on the boardwalk or Disney Springs or whatever, lounge around the pool, because here's the thing about those Run Disney events, they go off at like stupid times in the morning.
Yeah, like 2:30 in the morning or something silly.
Yeah, the marathon starts at like 3 a.m. The half marathon starts at like 4 a.m. Even the 5K and 10K events start at like 5 a.m. so that they're like, they are done. I mean, it always amazed me because I've been down there on run weekends before. And it's like, I'm getting up for the day, riding the Skyliner over to Epcot, and these people are walking around taking photos with these marathon medals. I'm like, bro, it's 8 a.m. What are you doing already? I've run a marathon.
Let's continue at Walt Disney World. Select Caribbean beach resorts rooms to receive a new under the sea character theme and other unique enhancements. Yep. This is pretty cool. So this is kind of, they're taking away the pirate rooms.
Good riddance.
Yeah, at Caribbean Beach, and Caribbean Beach was due for an upgrade here soon anyway. Mm-hmm. So this is part of that new refurbishment, and it's going to be the Trinidad building, it sounds like.
Right. See. Which is where the pirate rooms were.
Yeah. Trinidad area of Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort will be receiving a brand new look and feel. These new rooms, which will include subtle nods to fan favorite characters from Under the Sea, will accommodate more guests and feature updated finishes that can't be found anywhere else in the resort. So that means they're going fifth sleeper.
Yep.
And they're going to get a basically new paint, new everything. Add outlets that work. Disney, for the love of God, add outlets that work at Caribbean Beach.
I think so. I have had the we'll call it, inexperience. I had the experience of staying in the pirate room, and there was 2 doubles, and so even just turning those rooms into like what the other Caribbean beach rooms are, the 2 queens, would already in my mind accommodate more people, because my daughter and I went and stayed in a pirate room for her like birthday celebration, and it was barely big enough for the 2 of us, is the honest answer, because the double was in a pirate ship, which made the already small bed feel even smaller. And so I cannot imagine a family of 4 staying there. So whether they just go 2 queens, or they do in fact, as you're speculating, throw in the 5th sleeper, maybe they'll do a combo of them. But basically, Trinidad is the entire section past the road that leads in between kind of the two sides of Caribbean Beach. You have this road that goes up towards the Skyliner, and Trinidad is past that road next to the lake. And yeah, it needed a reworking. So this is something that I'm really excited about, because the pirate rooms were like way overpriced. They were more expensive than the regular rooms that had significantly more sleeping space. So it didn't make sense on so many levels, those pirate rooms.
Yeah, yeah. And I think you've got the pirate rooms there, and you've got the princess rooms over at
Port Orleans Riverside.
Port Orleans, yeah. I think those are going to be kind of the next rooms you see go away. Because
I like the royal guest rooms over at Port Orleans Riverside, because at least it's a double queen room, and it is kind of cute. You got princess mosaics all over the place, and I like those rooms, and that's worth, for people with a couple of daughters, that is 100% worth like the $20 a night. But you're talking those pirate rooms were more expensive for less space.
Yeah.
Didn't make any sense.
All right. After hours events are coming back to Magic Kingdom, and they are going to be at Magic Kingdom and at Hollywood Studios starting at the beginning of next year. So January 4th is going to be the kickoff at Hollywood Studios, January 9th at Magic Kingdom, and these are going to cost a pretty penny for, a little bit of time after the park hours, $129 to $159 per person per event. Now, granted, there will be some discounts. You'll get DVC, you'll get annual pass holder, you'll get Shades of Green discounts, that kind of stuff. But in all reality, I want to say you can only get into the park at 7 p.m. And I'm trying to find it.
It's like 7 to midnight.
Yeah, it's only a couple hours after close. Like, Hollywood Studios was only till like 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you ever done one of these? We've done the morning ones, which we really like the morning ones. We did the early morning magic at Magic Kingdom that included the breakfast. You got in an hour and a half early and you got a breakfast. And we've done the one at Hollywood Studios for Toy Story.
I have not. Sorry, camera apparently was not plugged in. I'm working on that. But I can talk. So I have not done any of those because if you're going for one time, yes, is it worth it to get the guide, those like private guides and is it worth it to go to these things? For sure, I could see it. But we go enough. Like when we went a couple of weeks ago, we didn't even attempt to ride everything, not even close. Like we ended up riding everything in Epcot just because we were there 3 different times. But like we rode Frozen one time, we rode Soarin' one time in like the time that we were there. So to shell out that much money to me, it's not a unique experience. It's just you're basically shelling out money for essentially what Universal wants you to shell out money for their fast pass, like what do they call them there? Express passes to get in through their rides quicker. That's basically what you're paying for, because you're not getting treats, you're not getting special characters, you're not getting special parades, you're not getting special fireworks. You're just getting ride access. So no, I haven't done it. I probably will not pay for ride access.
Yeah, I think you make a good point with it. If it's that once in a lifetime trip, and we kind of equate it to like the Very Merry Party, but like you were saying, with the parties at least you get fireworks, you get a dessert or a trick or treat thing, you get parade, you get a lot of exclusive stuff to that party. With these after hours events, you're not going to get that. Right. And I don't even know if they're going to do a double fireworks show on those nights. It doesn't say anything.
I mean, if I was spending that money, I guess if it's like, the hub is just desolate, but what I saw I'm paying $130 just to have a slightly better view of the fireworks with less people around. I don't know,
Yeah.
just it does not seem worth it to me, but I'm sure the events will be, nearly sold out or sold out, and
Yeah, it's just crazy
tens,
to think. It's
yeah,
crazy to think about.
thousands of people will be there and all that stuff. So, no, but for me, I'm not too excited
1
about.
minute left. Do you have anything that you're seeing that we haven't gone over yet?
No, this week just a whole bunch of Christmas details released. We kind of hit some of them. We more talked about things that weren't going to be there, but things that are there. Festival of the Holidays is coming back with the Candlelight Processional. Um, the holiday kitchens are going to be back, which is really exciting. The cookie stroll, I think we kind of highlighted some of this last week, but really that's all that's going on. The biggest thing in the news this week was the whole Ian sheltering and what they were kind of doing for guests that were there that lost out on some of their time. So they opened the parks a little bit early, exclusively for those resort guests. Did see some horror stories from some of those resort guests that they had to wait for hours to get through dining.
Yeah.
But that makes sense because how many Disney employees couldn't make it, or were sort of how many Disney employees were sort of forced to stay on site as the storm hit?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we need you, so don't worry, we got a room for you over here in this.
Nope, I hear you. Well, everybody, that's the news. Let's get over to.
You all just wait. If you haven't seen the Facebook ad, you all just wait for the top three.
Let's get over to top threes.
And grab
Business trip.
Did the people move around?
It does tingle a little bit.
Do you want to go to Disney? Contact me, Princess of the Mouse Travel, and I'd love to work with you on your amazing itineraries.
Awesome. Oh, that ad is awesome. If you haven't seen it, it's up on the YouTube channel over at Disney Planning Insights. You can check that out. Can't hear either of us. Is it better now, Shan? Hopefully it's better now. I see that should be able to hear both of us, so it might have just been something in the transition in that coming over from the ad. Okay, so number 3. You go ahead and go first. I've gone first the last couple.
I feel like there's really only 3 ways to save money. So let's see. Okay, so I am gonna go with. So I've got several things scratched down here. I'm gonna go with my first one is sharing meals is a good way to save while you are inside the park. A lot of times when you sit down for a restaurant, it's really easy to just say, okay, everybody order what they want off the menu. And I can't tell you how many times that we'll get to the end and I'll look around the plates and I sit there going like, oh, look, there's half of my daughter's meal and there's half of my wife's meal, and there's nothing wrong with going into a sit down restaurant and you know don't just get waters. If you're kind of going, if you're employing this strategy, do one of two things. But I'll explain that when I get done with this strategy. You can sit there and say, oh, my two kids are going to split this one adult size portion, or my daughter is probably not going to eat all of her portion, or like my 12-year-old will still order off the kids menu even though it's for 10 and under. It's not that it's more that he doesn't like the stuff on the adult menu, and so he just wants to order off of that menu. Or share an appetizer and a dish with your spouse, so that instead of getting two $30 dishes, you have a $15 appetizer and a $30 dish. Or go in just getting an appetizer for yourself and then finish up the plates, or stuff along those lines. Can be a really, really easy way to save a little bit of money. Now, if you do that, I would encourage you. Now we're trying to save money, so I would still encourage you to tip well. Like, you can go into a restaurant that's supposed to charge you about $30 a plate and save a little bit of money and trim it down to $15 to $20 a person. But I would still tip under the understanding that most checks for your group are going to come in at $30 to $40 a person, and kind of tip on those guidelines. It'll also make you seem more generous, and you'll also actually save money in the long run.
You will. Okay.
What is your number 3?
My number 3 is bring your own water bottles. There are 2 ways to get water at Disney. The first is you can buy Dasani water bottles all over the park for about $4 a pop, or every place that has a soda fountain can get water cups for you, and you can refill water bottles with ice around the park. It will save you quite a bit of money to do it that way, unless the dining plans come back and you're okay spending snack points on waters. Bring a couple of water bottles. We normally will bring 2 for the family, so the girls will share one, the boys will share one, and we've got water all day just sitting on the backpack. So that is my number 3 way to save money. Let's go to number 2.
So my number 2 way is avoid impulse buys. It's really, really easy at Disney to just, in hot days, one of the best things that you can do is pop into a store real quick, because it's air conditioning. As you're walking by it, the doors are open, inviting you into the air conditioning. And so it's really, really easy, especially when traveling with kids, to walk around that store to get a brief rest from the hot Florida air. And the next thing you know, you roll out of there with $60 or $80 or even $20. That nickel and diming can really, really add up over the course of your vacation. So something that my family does is we have a rule that we do not buy anything until end of day. And so if we see something that we like, oh, I really, really want that, great. If you still really, really want it, this gift shop will be open after the park is closed or when we are done for the day, because the gift shops are always the last thing to close their doors at a Disney park. So that could end up saving you a ton, because that thing your kid really, really needs, it's crazy how often after a long day, that doesn't even come up as you're walking out the park. So just be careful with those impulse buys, because those things really, really add up.
All right. My number 2 is going to be stay out of the parks, especially if you're staying on site.
Wait, that's cheap. It's how do you save money in the parks?
Well, I mean, you're at the resort.
Oh, brilliant.
You're at the resort, but, most of these resorts have fantastic pools and a lot of things that are being done by cast members there. They're having movies, they're having crafts, they're having, pool parties and that kind of stuff around the properties that you're staying at already. On top of that, stop at the front desk and get your adventure card and go play putt-putt. Those are things that you can do for free, and are included in your trip, but a lot of people just don't make the time for it. So those are a couple of ways right there to save money without even going into the parks.
Yeah, and on top of that, like even just add in Disney Springs, there's so much to do over at Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Now there you got to be careful with my tip too, because Disney Springs can really turn into, why are you walking back with 14 bags? really, really, really quickly.
Yeah. Alley and Basin. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Choice number 1.
Okay, so this is going to go kind of along the same lines. If your kiddos are pin traders, one of the quick ways to save money is to go on to an eBay or whatever else and find a bunch of old Disney pins being sold in lots. Because what really, really adds up, if your kids are pin traders, what adds up is when you're shelling out $30 a piece to get 6 or 7 more trader pins for your kids to then go up to the boards, because your kids fall in love with their pins that they've traded for, and they should, because that's the entire purpose of pin trading. Is like both of my kids have a big pin board, and I want them to be like, ooh, that's a keeper. But what really, really adds up is when every day to go trade 6 or 7 more pins, you got to shell out another $30 for the 7 character pack one. Now, on that topic, if you want to go pin trading and you have not used this tip, the best thing you can do is get about 7 pins for $30 by buying the bulk character pack ones and then trading those out. But ultimately what happens over the years is everybody trades those little character pins, and then Disney takes them and just dumps some as they kind of like keep their inventory fresh, and they just dump those things as they work other ones into circulation. And so people will just buy them and then sell them in big lots where you can get them for 20-30 cents a pin versus $4 a pin if you're buying them in the park. So just if your kids are pin traders, that is a fantastic way. Go with the pins, and then just out of your suitcase comes the 5 trading pins for today. And when they're done trading, they're done trading.
Yeah, and on top of that, let's put a little disclaimer on that. Make sure that you're actually getting Disney pins.
Yes, the back of them should have an official logo that says Disney Trading Pin Company or Disney Parks or some type of a logo, because there are unfortunately a whole bunch of knockoffs out there. So yes, make sure you are getting official Disney pins. Don't be one of those people.
Yes. All right. I'm going to take the super obvious one that I thought you were going to take, and I'm going to say, use a travel agent.
I have a bonus one.
Travel agents are handy in a lot of different ways. They're not just there to help you book your trip, but they're also there in planning needs as well. So, Peter just ran away. He's like, man, I should have grabbed that one. But as far as looking for discounts, you don't have to monitor the site constantly and look for discounts for your trip. As far as planning your days out and working within a budget, a travel agent can really help you in those aspects by knowing approximate costs of meals, approximate costs of entertainment, that kind of stuff, to where you can kind of budget out what you want to spend in a lot of ways, save money by not running into unexpected costs of things at the parks. So just, reach out to Peter over at Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel, at PATM Disney Travel over on Facebook, and let him help you out and help you on your next trip.
So just to piggyback that slightly, it's funny how often I do that. Like, I had somebody contact me earlier this year, and they were like, hey, there's a bunch of us, so we're going to do this like 2-bedroom villa, and it's going to cost us this much a night. And then I looked around at the dates that they wanted, and I said, wait a minute, you're literally traveling with 1 junior high kid and 3 high schoolers, 2 of which are not even, 1 high schooler and 2 freshmen in college. Your family is relatively grown. Let's do 2 adjoining rooms at a value resort. Look, I just saved you $200 a night. You know, like
Yeah.
if you have a good travel agent, they're going to work through those options with you. Um, because like I do it strictly for a joy. Like it's just a joy to help plan a trip for people who don't know what they're doing, and getting them figured out. And same thing with the dining. It's really easy to just get, oh, I got to do Cinderella's Royal Table. You don't need to. There's good meals for $30 a plate. So like just knowing budgets and things like that, a travel agent can send you to the restaurants that are going to charge 20 to 30 a plate versus you accidentally sending yourself that's charging 40 to 50 a plate. And now it becomes a tax, and now you're not enjoying your vacation the way you would want to. My bonus one, and I am cheating and taking a bonus one just because you're going to appreciate this. Ready? My bonus one is if you're looking to save money in the parks, just sneak your 8-year-old in a stroller pretending they're a toddler.
I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna say,
I was gonna make it my
don't do
one.
this.
I was like, I'll go with a legitimate number one, and then we have to mention this as a bonus one. Somebody did that last week. I think the kid was like 8 or 9 years old. They snuck him into a stroller and put a blanket over him, pretending it was an infant. I mean, and then filmed a video of like the reveal of the kid inside the park. Like they did some remarkably amazing thing, and the internet tore them apart.
People are dumb.
People is dumb.
You get kicked by Pluto. You sneak in your kid. You steal a cucumber off the living with the land. I mean, come on, people.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Stop being an idiot.
All right.
All right, we got 6 minutes. Do we want to do that, or do you want me to close this real quick and reopen?
Let's do it. We're gonna go into
what?
We're gonna go into the client question.
Oh my gosh, 6 minutes.
Do you have questions concerning planning a Disney trip? Ask them live on the show or submit them on our website at patmdisneytravel.wixsite.com/planning.
Client question based screen. Hey, there it is. All right, we're both here. Awesome. So, client question. And it's kind of falls into a top 3. But I thought it was interesting because it just came across today. Favorite counter service location at Magic Kingdom. And this goes into, it helps with our saving money thing and using counter service and that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, planning my trip, I've heard 3 best counter service locations at Magic Kingdom are Pecos Bill, Columbia Harbor House, and Casey's Corner. Which one out of the 3 would you recommend the most? Is there another location I should consider? Okay.
In those money-saving share of food tips, a family of 4 can easily get out of Casey's for 30, 40 bucks by just getting 2 foot-long hot dogs. Pecos Bill.
I got him.
What?
Oh, you're good.
Oh, Pecos Bill is a fantastic, like kind of Mexican-style food. But what's awesome about it is they have a huge topping bar. So once you order your tacos or fajitas or whatever you get, you head over to this toppings bar and you can put on so much stuff. Again, if you're looking to save money, 2 people, an adult and a kid, can eat out of the same menu item because you can grab a bunch of lettuce and cheese and veggies and whatever else and then just split like the meat into 2 portions. Really, really big bang for your buck. And then Columbia Harbor House is like a little Long John Silver's is the thing that I can best compare it to. You're going to have some fish and some chicken. You're going to have some hush puppies and fries. The reason why this one is good is, again, due to the portion sizes. The fish and fries there, or fish and chips for you Englanders, is a really big portion for, again, right around like that $15 price point. If you go to other locations, Like you're going to spend that same amount of money, but like Pinocchio, the flatbread you get is not worth that money. If you go to Cosmic Rays, the burger you get is just like any other burger, any other day, any other park. So for those reasons, those three absolutely do slide to the top of the list for portion sizes and affordability. So then the question becomes, are you in the mood for chicken and seafood? Are you in the mood for Mexican food? Or are you in the mood for a hot dog? Because all three of those are fantastic choices when you're looking to save a little money and splitting your meals. Another one that I would throw out is Friar Tuck's or Friar's Nook.
Friar's Nook,
there by the carousel, because that has tachos and is a great little snack for about $6 a portion. Great little snack. Grab 2 or 3 of those, and it'll snack you through to tide you over for a few more hours in the park. So I would throw that in as that's like ultra quick service though, because it's just a little food counter with really small bites.
Yeah, and then I'll throw in one to end it here. If you're looking for a great dessert, the Plaza Restaurant Ice Cream Bar is a walk-up counter service, and fantastic options, great portion sizes, and a great place to stop and get something before the fireworks.
And if we're throwing in dessert, we should probably also throw in breakfast. It is the best place to grab a quick breakfast is over at Gaston's Tavern. Massive cinnamon roll, $6. 2 of those will definitely get a family of 4 started on the day. And throw in a LeFou's brew and you're still under $20.
Yep. Sounds good.
There you go. Those are the best places. Those 3 high recommendations, definitely recommended as well due to portion sizes and cost friendliness.
All right. So, Peter, again, where can people find you?
Facebook at Princess and the Mouse Disney Travel. And I will get back to you just as quick as I possibly can.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get into the outro.
We did it!
Hey, I'm not getting any of my screens, but if you want to find us, you can find us over on Facebook at DPI Podcast, on Twitter at Disney Insights, the YouTube channel is the Disney Planning Insights Podcast, and over on Instagram at Princesses and the Mouse. Thank you everybody for watching, listening, everything that you guys do. Have a good week, and we will talk to you next Tuesday. Bye now.